Good morning, friends. Welcome back. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you had a nice, safe trading day. I know I did. It was very fun today. Slept in as planned. Forgot I planned on sleeping in just because of the pre-Powell chop. Remember I was mentioning how, just before Powell starts jabbering, price action is typically quite lame in the AM session. And yeah, I put up a trade and I took a partial, came back on me right away. Then I took another trade shortly after the dump today, and that was pretty fun. So let's go over what we was looking at. So if we were to continue on our journey, I wanted to see the 30% retracement hold. And I was mentioning if we lose that, then I would be immediately aiming for this wick right here. So once we lost that, it'd be important to have your quadrants drawn out, and that was the bottom of the day right there. So just take this fib off because we obviously lost the 30% retracement. And then we found a low right there. It stabbed through a little bit, but that's okay. Permit it. And so we have no fair value gap here. So this price range here is efficiently delivered. I would anticipate within the next 2 days that we close above this candle. So immediately I am aiming for this high here. Now this down movement will tell the rest of the planet to start shorting. Don't start shorting, okay? It's just an intermediate high. It's not going to be the top likely. Will we invite another low? So if we lose this, if we take this low here tomorrow, I'm not aiming for it, but if we do take it, price action has to immediately bounce off of this here. Or that's when I start aiming for the fair value gap below the market. So I'm not going to annotate it because I don't think it's important right now. So have previous day high on your chart. And like I said, we can have an outside trading candle where we take the low and the high and start running up. So just tomorrow's likely going to be a little weird, just so you're aware. So let's hop into a 15-minute chart and see what went down. Beautiful, beautiful accumulation range. I'm actually kind of like really excited for what's going on here. If it wasn't for these equal highs here, I probably wouldn't be so amped up to just start longing right away, but I totally am. So we see that there's relative equal lows below the market. I'm not sure like how, it depends on what happens tonight in through Asia, and just see where the midnight hits, because that's going to be the important price point. So mind your Asian range here tonight and see what kind of clues it can offer into what you can expect for tomorrow. We have a bullish vacuum block on the daily chart. So in other words, a new day opening gap. You can have that on your chart. I'm good with it. And yeah, so basically what I would like to see is a sweep here and then start running up. Now we could have already done that, and sure, if it's in turbo mode, which would be cool, we can do that. Bitcoin has chopped around all day, so it's made a new accumulation range. Yeah, just buy and hang on for dear life, everybody. So first trade was, I believe inside, yeah, it was right here. Got in sync with the order flow, took a partial right here, came back on me. I waited. And I had taken a PD array that you don't even know about, an implied fair value gap. And if the settlement was on here. That guy right there. So once we started to lose this candle and that specific price point that I was mentioning, and I'll turn that on just so you can get a visual. So it was this day's range here, right? So I was looking for a bottom today here, and if it lost that, then I'd be aiming for that wick. So going back into a 15-minute chart and just taking a peek, once it started to lose that specific price point there, now I'm waiting. So I'm waiting for what? A discount array. And you will see in the recording that I caught the dagger. And I want you to let that sink in for a second. I'm doing things that people and Google are terrified of doing. Don't catch falling daggers, they say. I caught that perfectly. And it was called out as it was falling to my private students. I said, here, have this on your chart, and then I played it. So you're going to figure it out eventually if you stay around long enough how that's doable. Because at specific times, price runs to specific price points. And once you're able to identify those, now you understand why you're being patient. So consequent encroachment of the implied fair value gap, and she snapped. I took my piece. I just had one contract on, took it at 100 ticks, done. In-N-Out Burger. And look, if I would have held on this entire time, think about the mental capital that I would have expelled. And then the daily close here, it would have just closed right where I would have, or where I closed it anyway. So very cool. So these are the price points I'm looking at. And if price action's in agreement, then I'm going to take a nice trade. Mind your macros tomorrow. That's going to be where the power comes from. So what we're looking at is this up close candle here. You're going to want to grade it and use your order flow skills in your scheduled runs to and use those in concert here as your support and resistance levels. God bless you all. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you tomorrow.